Hello! In this demo, we're going to look at monitoring AVS VMs using Azure native tools. So we'll start off here in the Azure portal. We're open to our private cloud object. We start with creating a Log Analytics workspace, and then we'll send data to it and report out of it. So from the portal, we'll go up into the search bar, type in Log Analytics, and then we'll create a new workspace. We'll pick our resource group, give it a name, call it AVS Lab Log Analytics for now. Put that in the West US region with the rest of our stuff, and review and create. Okay, validation looks good, we'll create. Deployment in progress. When deployment is complete, then we'll move on to search bar again, and now we're going to create an Azure Automation account. Type in Automation Accounts. Create. We'll pick our prod AVS-01 resource group. We'll give it a name. Call it AVS Lab Automation. West US is good. Review and create. Validation passed, create. Okay, that's complete, so we'll go to resource, and now we'll start configuring it to use our Log Analytics workspace. We'll go to the Configuration Management Inventory section, and we'll pick the Log Analytics workspace we just created, and enable to link the two together. So now we've linked the Configuration Management Inventory to that Log Analytics workspace. When we configure VMs with that Log Analytics agent, they'll start sending data to the Log Analytics workspace, and we'll be able to query that data from here to get a view of inventory of those VMs. While we're here, let's also look at the change tracking feature, and look at the things that we can monitor with change tracking. When we have that extension installed in VMs, we can monitor Windows registry changes, Windows file changes, Linux files, file content, and Windows services. Update management. Update management sees the connection to the Log Analytics workspace already, so we just have to enable it. Great. And now, as VMs are onboarded into the service, we'll be able to create groups of machines, create update baselines, assess VMs against them, and push patches all from this view. So that's all we have to do in the automation area. Now we're going to go to Arc. So we have all that neat stuff we can do on the automation page with inventory management, change tracking, and update management. But to be able to use that on our AVS VMs, we need to get those AVS VMs into something that Azure can work with. And the way we do that is by onboarding them to Azure Arc. From Arc, we'll go to Add Servers. We'll do Add a single server for now. Next, we'll put it in our prod AVS-01 resource group. Region is good. It'll be a Windows VM. Public endpoint's okay. Hit next. Optionally, we can define some location tags. If we want to indicate the VM that we're importing lives in a certain data center, we can enter that here. We'll leave the defaults for now. When we get the script, we can download and run. So I'm going to open up a remote desktop connection to a server that I want to onboard. AVS Apple 1. Here are my credentials. All right, notice that. I'll come in here and copy this script. Go back to my RDP window. Launch the PowerShell prompt as admin, and paste that script. It's going to chug along installing the Azure Arc agent. Eventually it'll prompt me to authenticate to make sure that I do have permissions necessary to onboard this VM to this Arc instance in my subscription. So I'll point a web browser at this URL here, microsoft.com/device-login, enter this code, then I'll log in with my Azure credentials to pass through. And when I do that, we'll get the successfully onboarded resource to Azure message. Okay, minimize this. Close out here. Go back to Arc. And now under servers, I should see, yep, there's my AVS App01 server that was just onboarded. I'm going to click through that and then go to Settings Extensions to add that Log Analytics extension so I can start sending data there. The Log Analytics agent, create, and it will ask me for some information, the workspace ID and workspace key of that Log Analytics workspace. So I will open a new tab here, go to that Log Analytics workspace, and then down to Agents Management. Here I can get that workspace ID, copy that to my clipboard, come back here, paste that in. Then I need that workspace key, copy that to the clipboard, and paste it back. Review and create. Validating, validation pass, create. So now I have that agent installed in the VM. I'm going to go back to my automation accounts here. Hub automation, I'm going to go down to inventory. I'm going to onboard a VM. So we get this message here, one machine does not have change tracking inventory enabled. Click here to manage. So I'll do that. And I want to onboard this VM, AVS-hosted. I have the option here to enable this on all available machines, enable on all available and all future, or enable on selected only. To save some time, I'll choose enable on all available and all future machines. So from this point on, anytime I install that Log Analytics agent on a VM that's been onboarded through Arc, it'll automatically be enrolled in change tracking and inventory. Enabled. Great. We'll go down to update management. Same as before, one machine does not have update management enabled. Let's fix that. Enable on all available and all future. Enable. Great. Okay, we'll go home here. We'll go to that AVS VM. Go in here, we're going to look at monitoring insights. And we're going to enable this feature to get more detailed health information out of this VM. We've given the Insights agent some time to gather data, so let's take a look at its found. Insights here. You can see this map showing the server, processes running on it, ports that are open. You can see 30 processes. We can click into that to see what's actually running. And any of these open ports we can click on to see what's actually listening. On the right pane we can dig into some other things. Health we don't see a lot because the guest health agent isn't supported on AVS-hosted VMs yet. But under machine properties we can see things like default gateway, MAC addresses, DNS name, last boot time, specs of the VM. And under Arc properties we can see the name in Arc, the resource group it's in, the subscription ID it's associated with. Under log events, we can see event types that come through and counts. Alerts, we can see any active alerts. Connections, we can see any connected servers. And we can look at change count over time as well. If we go over to the performance view, we can see things like disk statistics, CPU utilization, memory utilization, and disk performance. So that's the view we can get with Azure Monitor and Azure Monitor Insights.